splitting Sporting and Arsenal right now. For days, negotiations have been limited to bonuses with a fixed fee thought to be agreed and thankfully not being dragged up again. Yesterday's record explained the difference between the two clubs is now about the final €2.5 million in total of €10 million in bonus payments. Sorry, people, I need to zoom in a bit. There we go. Thank you. Apparently, Sporting want €2.5 million for the striker's first 20 appearances, €2.5 million for the next 20. 2.5 million should Arsenal qualify for the Champions League, 2.5 for another 20 appearances the following season. That would fit in with Federico Varandas' aim of it all being achievable and €7.5 million being possible in the first season. Arsenal want €2.5 million of the total to be more difficult to achieve. Essentially, Sporting have wanted €80 million for Gyökeres, and they feel they're being flexible by allowing part of it to be made up of bonuses. Records start their article by saying the last few hours have revealed no progress in negotiations between Arsenal and Sporting for the transfer of Victor Gyökeres. The process is already in a detailed phase, but still lacks the seal that would allow the striker to join the Gunners. Mikel Arteta scored fly-off for the pre-season tour on Saturday, and the desire is obviously to have the signing complete, all details sorted out, so the 27-year-old can get on the plane. Time is now running short for that to happen. I mean, we could always get a chartered flight in it, so let's be calm. Xhaka linked with Sunderland. Yeah, I've seen that. You know what? Passion Merchant, he's on that. I am looking forward to Newcastle, Sunderland. I do think it's going to be epic. I just feel, obviously, form goes out the window. Everyone can beat everybody, but definitely in my 30 years, it's probably the first time that there's a massive golfing class between Sunderland and Newcastle. And Sunderland got a small squad in terms of the size and age. I think Newcastle are going to bop them. I don't think Sunderland... You know what? Early predictions. Sunderland win at the Stadium of Light. Newcastle win at St. James's Park. Helicopter, people, if you can hear that. But yeah, continuing with this. We know we fly out for pre-season on Saturday. The desire is obviously to have the signing complete and all details sorted so the 27-year-old can get on the plane. Time is now running short for that to happen. Don't worry, man. Just make your own way there. Do your medical in Singapore. We pattern up, man. Records state, according to their own info, and during this saga, we all learned they have a leak from the players' camp. Gyökeres is prepared for the prospect of not being on that flight and presumably them flying out later. Wednesday evening saw Sporting lose 2-0 to Celtic in a pre-season friendly, and some supporters in attendance made clear their displeasure towards the AWOL striker. I hear it, and he done that, but the club forced his hand. 2 banners were held aloft by Sporting fans. One reading, "I don't cry for those who leave. I'm happy for those who stay. Lions of our youth academy." And the other, "No one is above the interests of the club, whoever they may be." Okay, great stuff. But yeah, I don't think Gyökeres cares about that no more. So yeah, I think this is just equating the same thing, people. At that point, we're going to be saying the same things. Gyökeres still remains determined to secure a switch to the Premier League. Arsenal still his preferred destination. So yeah, man, at this point, the only relevant info we want to hear is fee agreed. Like, genuinely, can we get to 200 likes? We got 163. That's all you want to hear at this moment in time. I don't know how true, but you know how Arsenal fans are. They're starting to track flights, which a bit of nostalgia from the Torreira stuff. Flights are being tracked. Some people are even tracking moving companies. People are tracking his brother and saying his brother is now following Arsenal. Anthony Gyökeres, no clue how true that is. We are still waiting for news on the future of Victor Gyökeres. The agent of the player are still in London to try to complete the agreement on the add-ons between Arsenal and Sporting, so they're working to complete the deal. That is being said by Fabrizio Romano. A removal van was spotted outside Victor Gyökeres' residency in Lisbon this morning. It's calm, man. It's happening. Everyone just tranquillo. It's calm. Chelsea apparently have entered into talks with Eze's agent about a potential move from Crystal Palace. Apparently, Crystal Palace are open to a cash plus swap deal with Arsenal involving Eze and Trossard. They have previously allegedly shown an interest in Reece Nelson, Kivior, and Zinchenko. Do we believe that? Do we feel that's something that could happen, people? Sky Sports have said that Eze is a primary target for Arsenal this summer. Arsenal know they can speak to Eze if they meet the release clause, and we're understood to be encouraged by Eze being open to the move. So it's the calm before the storm, people. So yeah, apparently Chelsea have opened talks with Eze, and apparently Chelsea have the funds to pay more and in a more favourable way to Crystal Palace, which is obviously where it makes you go, what's going on there? Arsenal apparently been in talks with him, but it's being held up because we're trying to do other stuff. I'll believe it when I see it. Again, do we really need to keep reading the same things with Gyökeres? Probably not. We're in talks over the bonuses. Apparently the total cost could be about 68 million quid. You drive a hard bargain, don't you, Sporting? Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Apparently, Arsenal have received an approach from Fulham to re-sign Reece Nelson. The structure of the deal, which is likely to be a loan, is still to be finalised, but talks are ongoing as all parties are trying to find a resolution. I can only speak for myself. Nelson, in fact, better yet, Arsenal, permanent. It's not fair to us. It's not fair to them. If they want him permanently, that is this whole loan business. It has to stop now, people. We do leave for pre-season on Saturday, so it'll be interesting to see if he flies over there or he stays put. Of course, we've seen Madueke be in America, fly back to London to get something done. So even if the Gyökeres thing isn't done by the time we jet off, things can happen. Last season, was we not in America and Smith Rowe left the camp to obviously sign for this very club? We need permanent money. We have been linked with João Palhinha, people. According to Sky Germany, Arsenal even made bids for the 30-year-old prior to the FIFA Club World Cup, but they were not backed by Bayern. Apparently, Arsenal want Palhinha because Arteta values his experience. Not only does the Spaniard want an older head in the middle of the field, something lost with the departures of Jorginho and Partey, he also wants a player with a Premier League track record. Doesn't that go to Norgard? Inter Milan are apparently interested, as well as clubs from Portugal, Turkey, and Spain. I can't say I believe that. Really, maybe before Norgard came in, fair enough. But yeah, we're being relinked with João Palhinha. Apparently, he said he's got 3 years left on his deal. He doesn't really want to leave, people, but things can happen. So yeah, apparently we've held serious negotiations. I don't believe that, because this says here, Arsenal are yet to come close to reaching an agreement for Palhinha, and the Gunners have been forced to explore other avenues to bolster Mikel Arteta's options in the middle of the park. We've not heard anybody say this, so I don't really believe it, really. Rodrygo leaving Real Madrid will not be easy. He loves the club. It's really difficult for him to say goodbye. There'll be one more conversation with there'll be more than one conversation with the club to discuss the situation. Real Madrid will let him decide whatever he wants. He ain't trying to leave. Arsenal have closed the door apparently on Rodrygo. They'll not sign him. Now, equally, there's also equal rumors that say we're still on it, in it, really. Real Madrid will not sell Rodrygo for cheap. They believe that if he is sold, it should be for a fee close to 100 million euros. Prior this week, we heard Liverpool are ahead of Arsenal in the race for Rodrygo. Sources close to Arsenal have explained to SER that a deal for Rodrygo on the London club is very complicated. We don't say it's impossible, but the Arsenal road appears to have been closed. I'm sure you've seen this already, but apparently Arsenal are happy with the fee they paid for Madueke and are adamant that it will be seen as excellent business in the next few years. Mikel Arteta really pushed for the deal, believing he can thrive at Arsenal and does not view him as a backup. So this is the left winger then. Fair enough. Fair enough. Again, you would have seen people that we've apparently gazumped Liverpool to the signing of Salford striker Will Wright. He'll probably obviously play for our under 19s in the youth league, probably play for the 21s and 18s, and if you sign him for a couple of thousand and you can sell him for a couple of mil, if he doesn't progress all the way, Bob's your uncle. Chelsea apparently are currently ahead of Arsenal and Liverpool in the race for João Palhinha. Yeah, people are following, his brother is doing the most on social media where Gyökeres is concerned. I don't know if this person knows they're talking about, in it, but apparently, just because it will entertain you lot, Arsenal had concrete interest in Mbeumo and were prepared to offer a fee slightly exceeding what they eventually paid for Madueke. I have it on good authority. However, Mbeumo was reluctant to accept a rotationary role, particularly one that involved playing second fiddle to Saka on the right and sharing minutes on the opposite flank. Arsenal quickly pivoted to Madueke, whose profile and versatility aligned/mirrored Mbeumo's. I'm not too sure how realistic that is, people, but it could be. 1 second. Just patterning up other streams for you. So yeah, always working for you lot, always. So yeah, what do we make of that, people, if you did believe that? 1 minute, Fabio Vieira's linked with clubs in Turkey, Spain, Germany, Portugal, actually the Premier League. Parma have been linked with him once and then it was kind of quashed. The Times are saying Arsenal have set an asking price of 20 million for Fabio Vieira, who would like to reignite with former Arsenal coach Carlos Cuesta at Parma. But then we also heard that is described as wide of the mark. And yesterday, what's 20 million pounds? That's about 17, 18 million euros, right? Didn't we hear Arsenal had an offer from an unnamed club for that very fee and they said no to it? So again, we don't actually know what's going on. Any small hope of Bradley Barcola, who has been linked to Bayern Munich? Apparently, there's no world where Bradley Barcola would leave PSG this summer. The winger and the French club are set for new contract talks in the upcoming weeks that could make him one of the top 5 highest paid players at Paris Saint-Germain. Arsenal could make a move for Nicholas Jackson or Ollie Watkins if they fail to secure a deal to sign Victor Gyökeres. Just put Ollie Watkins. You know what? It's more likely you would sign Nicholas Jackson in that. So yeah, Arsenal are working on a deal for Salford City forward Will Wright, who did make his debut last season, playing the FA Cup. He's attracted interest from the Premier League, Arsenal and Liverpool. He's been at Salford. If he signs, he'd be expected to split his football between Arsenal's under 18s and 21. So why not, man? We need to get that done. We've announced 13 scholars as well, people. We need a competitive side. You would have seen already, Ethan Nwaneri's in talks over a new deal. We've officially signed Callum Hamill. He's joined Arsenal. You know, we've been scouting in Scotland and whatnot. What is this? If Google Translate will be my friend, not going to help me? I'll learn Spanish one day. Going to help me? Yeah. Mascara, goodbye to the pillar of pillars. Valencia will earn between 43 and 52 million from the sales of him, Marmadashvili, the goalie that went Liverpool.